The original American version of What's My Line, which ran from 1950 to 1967, was a breath of fresh air when I discovered it over a year ago. The name, What's My Line, to a British person, conjures up the rather staid image of old BBC. A bit stuffy, funny, but in a polite, sensibly English way. Also, it's often a case of, I've heard about that show, but I've never seen it, because the BBC have hardly any of the original run in their archives. The aforementioned US version, produced by game show legends Goodson Todman, is a whole different story, with hundreds of episodes in existence. However, it can't really be any good, can it? Well, if you're in two minds about it, think of it like this. Our version of the little that exists makes theirs look like a rave-up at a student union. Sure, to Americans, it looks rather polite and old-fashioned when comparing to modern game shows, but the energy that exists between the moderator and the panelists feels light and modern, almost progressive. The winning combination of journalist Dorothy Gilgallen, comedian Fred Allen, all-rounder Arlene Francis and publisher Bennett Cerf during the mid-50s took this show to another level, in my opinion. Add to that the polished, almost BBC manner of newsreader John Charles Daly, and you have a formula for success. I particularly enjoyed John's rather extended explanations that seemed like they came out of nowhere. His face was always a picture. But Jamie, I hear you cry. It's all fuzzy and in black and white, and I can't make anything out, and it's just rubbish because of that. How can I possibly enjoy this show? Believe me, when you've seen some of the crazy jobs that feature on this show, and the chemistry between the panelists, and all the other things that make What's My Line great, you forget about the limitations of the kinescope and anything else technical related. Before What's My Line, I never knew that eyeglasses for chickens even existed. Imagine a world where I didn't know that. Still not convinced? Well, the part of the show that everyone remembers is the appearance of the mystery celebrity, which sees the panel blindfolded so they can try and guess their identity. Literally everyone, from Hollywood A-listers to TV and radio celebrities to sportsmen, you name it, the cream of mid-century entertainment and culture appeared on that show. If you're unfamiliar with a lot of the names that appear, it's a great starting point to finding out about a golden age. If you're an enthusiast, like myself, it's just fun to see these people in a different environment. That, on its own, is worth the price of admission. Now, if you're listening to this and considering checking out the show, I would really recommend it. In America, it can usually be found on the game show TV channel Buzzer, when they're not playing the latest syndicated version, which is okay but doesn't really live up to the brilliance of the original. Also, it can be found on demand in the USA via Amazon Prime, where around 40 episodes of the show from the mid-50s are available. When it was available on Prime in the UK for a short period of time, my wife and I could not get enough of it. Every night was What's My Line night in our household. Now, in the UK, I would recommend checking out episodes on YouTube and joining the various Facebook groups dedicated to the series. Thanks for listening to A Brit Talks Vintage TV podcast. Email us on abrittalkstv@oldtimereview.co.uk. Please remember to rate, comment and subscribe on your favourite podcast provider.